Under this president, we have seen more lying, cheating, stealing, immorality, social decline, political and judicial tampering, and cowardice in many ways. We've watched our citizens go further down the drain as they are letting themselves be herded like a bunch of dumbass sheep being taken to slaughter. And they are so unbelievably stupid as to seemingly not have a clue as to what's really happening to all of us and our country, our America. Under this president, moral decay is running rampant. What with the Boy Scouts now tainted by it, and Mary and Sue, Bill and John, all hooked up and marrying each other. What a big, sick circus of immoral events. Also, look at your children and the attitudes and policies towards encouraging sexual activities at an earlier age. Next, morning birth control pills, free condoms, and ultimately abortion, murder. All being pushed big time by this beast of a president and his progressive, liberal, and socialist accomplices. They are not supporting the sanctity of heterosexual marriage, our natural and God-given right. Traditional marriages and families are being slammed down and totally disrespected. Under this liberal president, there was an opportunity to be had where he could have done wonders to help bring our country closer together in all areas. But he has done everything he can to divide and screw us all up. Racism and disharmony is running rampant. He is the divider and chief destroyer, a one-man wrecking ball. Under this president, chaos and mind-screwing is on his agenda and that of his minions and the complicit liberal media. The complicit liberal media. Don't forget that, complicit. They're in deep with him and his whole administration, and it's bad news, man. Controlling all of the sheep is the main agenda. With great headways being made in getting as many people on welfare, disability, food stamps, government giveaways, and subsidy programs of all kinds. Crony capitalism, bailouts, grants, illegal money laundering and incentive programs, the borrowing of money, the creation of corrupt policies, and massive dollar printing designed to keep the ruling class in power in every way. He has almost cemented up his constituency of sheeple to be dependent on his government. To hell with all of us good American citizens. He is intent on turning us into his subjects. This king and his accomplices and more power are all that matters to them. How in the hell could good people support or like him? To hell with America, a country that he loathes and wants to bring down in so many ways anyhow. How can good people tolerate this creep, this abomination, this bad man, this sorry president? Under this president, our country has lost its place militarily, strategically, internationally, financially, morally, physically, religiously, intelligently, and mightily. With this deviously determined dumbass at the helm, our country is in sharp decline and heading to hell in a handbasket. The worst part of all of this is that the decline of our America is being orchestrated on purpose and all for the ultimate goals of total control over all of us and our country for the aggrandizement of their progressive, liberal, socialist agenda and more power for their elitist ruling class. Under this president, we are seeing tyranny take over and a king being created to rule our America with an iron hand. Under this president, our economy is a midget of itself because this president and his crooks, creeps, thieves, cronies, and minions want it to be. We have seen our economy putt along, barely on life support. We have not seen much at all done to help fix the serious problems with the housing industry, including the construction of, sales of, and mortgaging of homes, new or existing. There is and has been record unemployment, and it's not getting any better. There are so many people out of work and hurting financially. All we hear is some more talk and more blame for everyone but him. Under this president, we have seen the misappropriation of stimulus and bailout money. We have seen tampering and bailouts in many areas of the car industry. We have seen extreme amounts of money paid out to every environmentally, in other words, green-aimed company, many of them, that have gone under for the most part. This knucklehead has wasted so much money and screwed up so many things, and in the process has gotten paybacks, kickbacks, and political contributions for he and his to continue to do more of the same, all the while taking us and our country further down the drain and deeper into more terrible debt. He has almost doubled our total debt from what it was from the beginning of our country's founding to when he first became president in 2009. He is guilty of many unbelievably bad decisions, policies, and rules and regulations that he has caused to be loaded onto our backs, both individually and as a country. Lawlessness, stupidity, lack of common sense, and insanity doesn't explain all of the bad stuff and damage he has perpetuated on our country already. There are a lot of evil, crooked, and deviant other things going on as well. Under this president, our health care system is being fundamentally destroyed so that ultimate power over our health, our quality of life, and our time here on earth is controlled and scrutinized by those who in power in our almighty government and those evil powers in our world that are ultimately in control over our United States. There's some bad dudes, some bad powerful forces out there, you know, like George Soros and Warren Buffett and good Lord have mercy, dig deep and you'll find out there's a whole lot of stuff going on that has basically turned some of our leaders, including our president, into puppets. There's some very big money and some big power out there that probably we'd be scared to death to know all about it. But anyway, there's trouble out there. Can you believe or stomach the fact that our crooked IRS will be in charge of health care enforcement? A tyrant's dream is the ultimate control of all health care. Please call your legislators and tell them to defund it. Stop it. Repeal it. Kill it. Now. It has to be done before the end of September, when they come back from their break. It has to be done. So, good Lord, please, please, please get these people's attention. And we can help. We've got to help. Okay, under this president we have seen the government in the darkness and behind closed doors. Manipulation of facts and truth. Outright lying, deceit, bait and switches, shell games, law-breaking, and crooked acts of all kinds. And all of this without him taking one bit of the credit or blame for any of it. Because of the complicit liberal media and the rest of his crooks, creeps, thieves, cronies, and minions, plus the dumb or stupid voters and sheeple in this country, this president has gotten by with a full load of crap so far. Low to no information voters and dumb citizens are his favorites. Under this president, his lawless attitude towards our Constitution, our courts, our U.S. Senate and House of Representatives, and his disdain of and suppression of Christian values, his embracing of Muslim values, his lack of support for Israel and the Jewish people, and his continuing attacks on Catholics has proven to be very troubling and problematic. He has attacked Christianity in all kinds of ways. He has and is accomplishing so many feats of anti-Americanism that are so very mind-boggling to witness. We've never had a more radical mess or scourge on our country as we have and are apparently stuck with for a while. Most of our legislators seem to be afraid of this tyrant. Under this president, we have seen many scandals and cover-ups, most of them not resolved yet. There's been spying, gun running, murder of an ambassador, tampering and hurtful destruction of other countries and their societies, election fraud and meddling, crony thises and crony thats. This country is not near the same since he came into office, and he's got lots of plans and schemes to play out as he further brings America down, down, down. Under this president, we get an excessive amount of lip service. His speeches go on with the same old, tiring lies and exaggerations year after year. The same endless and harmful bullcrap comes spewing out of his sorry, lying mouth day in and day out. You'd think he's definitely delusional, living in some kind of a dream world. Maybe it's drug-induced to some extent. Maybe he's still smoking funny weed like he did growing up in school as a leader in the Choom gang. Choom, spelled C-H-O-O-M -gang, G-A-N-G. Or maybe it's even something stronger. Whatever is going on and whatever he's on, it's obvious that this radical, liberal, progressive turd bird is not what a great country like America needs as our president. No other president has done us so completely wrong. He is bad to the bone, and he thinks he has us all buffaloed. Does he? Check out the Choom gang on the internet. It'll show you what we I guess some people are proud of, but I'm sure as heck not proud of what we have as president. This president is committed to disarming us. He wants our guns, all of them. We in our country are free because we have our Second Amendment rights. Don't help us lose our rights to keep and bear arms. Without them, our tyrant, the president, would be totally unrestrained from doing us in completely. Gun control is people control. If you don't believe that they're moving forward for our guns constantly, he's passing things around Congress and he's doing stuff all the time that is narrowing our ability to have our guns. It's a mess, and you need to really take it seriously. Don't lay down and think that it's not going to happen, because by golly it is. This president is apparently, along with many of our legislators, obsessed with diluting us down to whale crap by pushing the amnesty. Those pushing amnesty will support more unemployment, more decline in our quality of life, more support and giveaways of all kinds to illegal aliens, and ensure a permanent majority voting bloc for Democrats, liberals, progressives, and socialists by allowing the evil amnesty bill to pass. Call all of them and demand that they kill it. Our houses of government are filled with a total lack of common sense and foolishness, greed, corruption, and crookedness. Let all of them be put on notice that we are intent on and are going to take our country back. Under this president, the poop has already hit the fan 1,000 times and growing. Don't you feel it? Don't you smell it? Believe it or not, you are wearing it, and it's only going to get stickier and smellier and more pungent. So far, he may have gotten away with murder. He's guilty of causing mayhem, theft, chaos, and illegal activities and deceits of all kinds. Are you going to continue to support and revere this bad man, this bad president? I sure as heck hope not. I sure as heck hope not. I sure as hell hope not. Good Lord have mercy. There is precious little time left to get it right and to do what we have to do as American citizens. We have to straighten things up. Not violently, but straighten things up. Wake the heck up, and all of those you know. Then band together and be strong enough to tell him where to go. I'm Wolf. I love this country. I believe in this country. And I've seen a lot of good things in this country for many, many years. Especially our young people have got to wake up. They've got to realize what's going on. They've got to pay attention. They have got to realize that their life isn't going to be worth very much at all. And their freedom they think they have isn't going to be worth very much at all if they don't wake up and start taking care of things and paying attention and doing some stuff about it. They have got to quit riding around in a dream world. There's a lot of us out here, including myself, that have had a pretty darn good life, you know, and very thankful for it. But I'd love to see my children and grandchildren have the opportunity to have a better life than they're going to have if people don't straighten up and start changing the political atmosphere and other things that need to be taken care of. So anyhow, wake up and wake the heck up, okay? Alrighty, I'm going to read another letter here in a few minutes. I'm going to take just a momentary break, and then I'll be back, and I'm going to read another little letter here that hopefully will help people have an idea of where to go and get some other information besides the complicit liberal media. Anyhow, take care, and God bless America, and let's help in every way we can to straighten things up. All right. This is Wolf again. Hello after the break. Hope y'all have had a chance to think a little bit about what I just read, and will be over time. But anyway, please, don't take anything I say lightly, and I believe everything I've said, and I don't believe that I've told any untruths at all. Proof's in the pudding, and believe me, there's a lot of problems out here. Anyway, this letter here is titled, "Do What You Ought to Do and Do It Well." Can you imagine what our country would be like if we didn't have to be constantly on edge and on alert about all of the evil and divisiveness surrounding us? Our government is working very hard and fast to subject us to their controls and their tyranny over every possible thing you can imagine in our lives and in our America. They don't respect and appreciate us at all. They are stealing from us and killing our freedoms and future. Those of us that are paying attention to what's going on and what's coming at us are amazed at the utter passiveness and complacency of the sheeple who are not, and of those who are ignorant and not informed at all, and of those that just bury their heads in the sand and other places. It's hard to believe that people don't care. Our country is on the way to going down in flames. Our moral fibers are being ripped to shreds in many ways. Our Christian and religious values and many of our God-given rights are being attacked and taken away. The powers that be, from our president and his administration and from there on down, don't give a rat's ass about us and what we think or want. They just want to control us, manipulate us, and use us as their stupid slaves. Sick as it is, they are winning. We are being hoodwinked, used, abused, and crapped on regularly. There are things we can do to turn things around. For one, don't accept the status quo and don't go along with the government and the liberal media bullcrap. And don't stay in bed with the enemy. The enemy is our government, unfortunately. And the liberal media is definitely in bed with them. It's a mess. Turn over a new leaf and start paying attention to the really important things going on in our country that truly play a major role in our lives, liberty, and pursuits of happiness. Don't take anything for granted. Be willing to stand up and speak out for what is good and right. Try keeping up with current events, get educated, be proactive, be responsible. There's a lot of things in this country that are a lot of fun. I like racing, and I like football, and I like sports of all kinds too. But, I don't care much for reality TV and some other crap that's out there. But I can tell you one thing, a lot of people are paying attention to all those other things and not paying attention to what's going on that really is important, that really is affecting our lives. Reality TV show doesn't have or a survival show or something like that, doesn't have anything to do with making your life better or anything. It's just a way to escape. But escaping and not paying attention is what's the big problem. This country is asleep. A lot of us are, and unfortunately, they've got to, tighten up and do right and get over what they're doing and start paying attention and being responsible. Okay. There's some serious suggestions that I'd like to, put out here. watch the Blaze TV, Blaze News on TV or on the internet. Blaze is something you can get with DishNet and probably other sources across the country, but it's turned out to be one of the best sources of news and shows and talk shows and really good entertaining shows, period. So go to the Blaze. Fox News is pretty good, although they're not as good as they used to be. 10 or 12 years ago they were more, I don't know, maybe probably conservative for sure, and they were more fair and balanced. I think that right now they're pretty good, but they're not near like they used to be. But the Blaze is the #1 in my book. Fox News is pretty good, but you got to watch them and cull out what question things in your mind and make sure you verify stuff. Avoid divisive and dishonest liberal media and TV shows like ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, and others. They are in bed with your government, our enemy. They all lie, cover up, and deceive you regularly. Please seek out radio shows like locally here in Gainesville, Bob Rose, Andy Dean. Then there's Herman Cain, Rush Limbaugh, Laura Ingraham, Mark Levin, Michael Savage, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, Andrew Wilkow, and many others on FM radio. Locally, you can get 97.3 FM and 96.5 FM. They're all talk radio stations. Also check out your Sirius XM satellite radio. The Patriot Channel has some really good shows on, and also you can get Fox News on the Patriot Channel, and also there's a lot of good music and stuff on there too. Go to the internet and check out the Real News on the Blaze, or the Drudge Report, or Fox News, and many other conservative, fair, and honest news sources. Check out Michelle Malkin, the Freedom Foundation, the Heritage Foundation, the NRA, and others. There's a lot of good stuff that you can sort through and listen to, check, and verify. Listen, watch, learn, question, confirm, and come to your own conclusions once you have checked out and verified all that you have seen and heard. It's extremely important to be taught, be informed, and investigate everything possible. It's also very responsible to share what you know to be true with others. We can all make a drastic difference in our lives, in our country, and in our world if we wake up, stay alert, hunger for and search out the real truth in everything, and always remain engaged and vigilant, holding those in our government to a strict adherence of our American standards and values as outlined in our U.S. Constitution, our Bill of Rights, and our laws and rights of our land, whether legislated, natural, or God-given. Our government must always govern and manage our country only by and at the will of our people, our citizens, us. Our government employees, meaning every damn one from the president on down, must always remain completely accountable to, responsible to, and subject to us, not us to them. God bless the USA. God bless America. It's our right, duty, and responsibility as American citizens to keep up with and control all of these things so that our country remains free and doesn't sink into tyranny or any other hole or abyss. We are the power. Do it, and do it now. Wolf. Okay, please take these words, try to use them as an incentive to go out and do something yourself. I'm only doing what I can do. I'm only trying to say what I have in my heart and what I learned from studying and listening and watching what's going on. I try to be as well informed as I can be, and try to poke around and see what I believe to be true. And I believe everything I've said is true, and I'll stick to it. But anyway, if you would, please get out there and do something positive to remain alert and attentive, vigilant, and on top of things, and try to get all your family, friends, and loved ones, and any strangers you can possibly persuade or whatever, into being awake and being outgoing and positive about the future of this country. Is great if we take charge of it and do something, and do it now to straighten it out. The midterm elections are coming up in November of 2014, and if we don't wake up and get things straightened out by that election and clean house, so to speak, up there in Washington, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. I mean, we don't have, but I should say, one more chance. And please, for God's sake, get on the phone, call your congressman and your senators, and tell them you do not want Obamacare. They have got to vote that thing to be defunded here in September as soon as they come back from break. Please take care of that. Put the pressure on them. And they have got to stop trying to push this amnesty thing. Dig into it and find out how bad it is. It is bad news. It's terrible. I mean, talk about pushing us into being a third world country. It's going to diminish the amount of jobs and everything else. I mean, it's going to be horrible. And why in the world should we be giving illegal aliens all kinds of benefits, and a lot of us don't get them? It's not right. And there's a lot of devious things going on behind all of this stuff. So anyhow, pay attention, dig in there, dig deep, and do the very best you can to do what you ought to do, and then whatever you do, do it, and do it now. Alrighty, I don't know what else to say, but I'm just hoping and praying that y'all help all of us and everybody stay awake and keep awake and do what they got to do. I'm going to shut up because I'm getting redundant, but anyhow, have a good day. You take care, and God bless America, and please stand up for America and be an American. And all of us need to do our jobs as citizens of America. Take care, and I'm going to draw this thing to an end. I'm going to leave this screen on for just a moment or two so you can enjoy this picture. I mean, it is a beautiful picture, and this is a beautiful country, so let's do our best to save it, okay? Alrighty, I'm going to leave this picture on the screen probably to the end of the tape. Alrighty? Y'all have some discussion or whatever, okay? Take care. Alright. Thank you. Goodbye.